What's up guys, it's Project bringing you the final version of my Kunai build for New Game Plus. Min-max to the T, it is finally done. This is perhaps the best boss killer build in the game, damage wise, at least compared to what I've seen so far. This is a double-edged build, however, in that you don't necessarily have that many defenses to live much attacks. But its offense is so overpowered that it isn't a problem. For the very start of the game, you should equip full shinobi gear. You'll mainly use your weapon for killing with shurikens on the side to help chip away at things. End of Region 1, you start getting Fuma gear from Snake and Enenra stages, to which you can watch my Fuma build video for further details. That will take you from Region 1 to 4. After 4, you farm the Ninja Dojo mission for Flying Kato set. This setup is the peak performance, not the full set. From here, you pretty much ride it out till New Game Plus, where you can then start farming kunai damage percent inheritables from Revenants. And then the last piece is getting a Yasakani, which you can either speed run to the last boss in New Game Plus for a guaranteed one, or follow my Yasakani farming guide if you want it sooner. But your end result will be the Ninja King build. I tested everything, all modifier comparisons, so it is truly min-max for the current base game. I've tested Kingo backstab damage, but 5-piece Kato and 3-piece Iga is the most damage. 3-piece Iga gives 45 ninjutsu power, which I explained in my Fuma video. 1 ninjutsu power is roughly 0.5% damage increase. So the Iga set is providing around 22% damage increase for kunai. Ninjutsu power has no fall off in damage. 6-piece Kato bonus is not worth it at all. The ninjutsu damage bonus, even with my near 900 ninjutsu power, only provided around 100 or so extra damage. 100 extra damage when we're dealing thousands, so definitely not worth it, and even the boost to weapon damage was paltry. So, don't go 6-piece Kato. The damage is fine enough, and honestly the build would better benefit from other defensive effects. I tried Shinobu Cuirass backstab damage, but honestly, it's not much better than Kato's 6-piece bonus in terms of damage, and is limited to the back, so toss that aside. Instead, I recommend leaving the helm set open without a set piece, so you can wear various helmets for extra effects. I chose Mataza's helm for the 2-piece bonus, giving you Tiger Sprint effect for 10 seconds whenever you kill an enemy, allowing the build to fly through a stage super fast. Again, the goal of the build is to kill fast. You could even use it as a farm build as well for farming text or Amrita. But otherwise, you're free to use the helm of your choice. You could go Enenra for more anima, you can go Kodama Bowl, the choice is yours. The main weapons are sword and spear, with sword being best. Both weapons provide 6% extra thrust damage in their tree that other weapons don't have. This build is dedicated to kunai for 90% of each encounter, so honestly, the weapon type is irrelevant. You'll seldom use your weapon for killing, so the fact that it's locked to sword and spear, you'll just use it to pick off gakis or perhaps parry humans occasionally, and that's it. So, let's get into stats, the most important parts of the build. Starting off with sword, you want damage bonus equipment lightness AA, or agility damage bonus A. I decided backstab damage, while it does deal more damage, is not worth it for this build since more than half the time you're facing the front of enemies, or some enemies, like Enenra, just straight up turn around immediately after getting hit from behind. Humans also tend to block after 2 kunais and turn around, so it just feels these other 2 effects provide more consistent damage. Rest of the effects are up to you. Just remember, damage bonus lightness or agility take up a damage stat spot, so you must remove other factors like melee damage or even change to attack as they conflict with these effects. Final blow damage or key damage are fine though. Your second weapon stats are useless unless you want to use both spear and sword at the same time, otherwise ignore it since its effects aren't active if not being used. Ranged weapons. Taika and Warrior of the West for 2-piece bonuses. If you got damage bonus lightness AA on weapon, then you want the other effect on your ranged weapon, so here would be agility A, so you can have both, which both affect kunai damage. The rest of the stats is up to you. Now armor is where it gets tricky. The 3 things you want on every piece is ninjutsu power, untouched ninjutsu, and kunai damage percent. However, the only piece that gets kunai damage naturally is gloves, and the only pieces that get untouched naturally are chest and gloves. So you must inherit the rest of these stats to the other pieces, via inheritables. However, you can only get one inheritable for one piece of gear, so how can you get both kunai damage and untouched on boots? Well, you're going to need the new orange inheritables effects. This allows you to inherit stats, however many you want, onto any piece of gear, even if they have the white inherit symbol already. Luckily, the most common kunai damage percent gloves being passed around now has this effect, thus enabling you to farm the revenants at the Weasel stage in New Game Plus to fully deck out your build. Untouched Ninjutsu inheritable is on you to find on your own, however, and the rest of the stats are your choice. Attack on gloves and chest is nice though. For accessories, you know it, Yasukani. This allows you to wear Iga and Kato and the rest of these set gear pieces and gain their bonuses while wearing one less. So it's a must-have. You either have to beat New Game Plus final boss to get a guaranteed one, or you can follow my Yasukani video in the end screen annotations for an early one like I did. Like armor, get power and kunai damage onto these, and I also recommend life drain ninjutsu on one of them, Yasukani most likely. While the amount of life you gain back does suck, being max health is critical to activating Kato's 2-piece bonus, and this helps with that ever so slightly. Second accessory should be a fan or something that can roll untouched ninjutsu. Riding sets cannot roll untouched ninjutsu. Yasukani's can't, so fan is likely your next best option for more ki recovery when max health. In total, I have 45% untouched ninjutsu, so half of the time I don't waste kunai when I throw them, thus allowing the build to be more sustainable in levels. While not fully sustainable obviously, you can go shrine to shrine with just kunai and storm kunai in most stages just fine. And certainly against bosses, it's overkill as you saw. For Guardian Spirits, you want Neko-chan. It's the only one with throw damage, but most importantly, it's the one sustaining the broken core that is Otakamaru. You would think I'm a mage build with all those colors going off in Eclipse, right? But that is simply the power of this final boss core. By gaining anima with ninjutsu hits on our spirit, you can regain back to nearly full anima in 2 to 3 throws, allowing you to spam both this skill and kunai at nearly the same time, absolutely destroying bosses. This combo is what makes this build so powerful. More so against yokai bosses, but mine's not even level 60 yet. For more damage, make sure to fuse Otakamaru with a blue Mortal Soul Core to make it feral form. It'll gain a boost in damage since our yokai form is also feral. Your second and third cores don't matter, pick what you find useful. Yokai ability damage or life drain and a jutsu hit anima bonus are best. For stats, you want 99 skill and 99 dex. Make sure to remodel your sword or spear to get a scaling and skill for maximum damage. 11 magic is just enough to have our spells and enough constitution to wear Iga set, and the rest of your points will be dumped into courage for more ki recovery speed. For clan, you still want Takigawa for that nice 40 plus ninjutsu power, which again is like 20% kunai damage. For skills, the obvious is the obvious. Get kunai, storm kunai, quick change scroll, tiger running early on until you get Mataza helm, and feathers. Feathers are your secondary damage dealer, dealing thousands of damage against enemies out of ki, but very useful to pair with your weapon where you hit the horn of a yokai, decrease the ki, burst counter or attack the rest of the ki off, they go into red, and you pop a feather and boom, dead. I like water and fire best. Water element lowers defense and is good against fire enemies, while the fire one has the best tracking and kills the occasional annoying slimer. I like using 5 water and 2 fire. 2 quick change scrolls has saved my life a ton, so I recommend equipping 2. You want the concealment mystic art for a huge boost in kunai damage, roughly 50%, which you can get your first mystic art around region 5 or 6. Make sure to set the skill after getting it. Get shuriken shooter and kunai damage, and the rest is whatever. You get so much points that you can get tons of stuff that you'll never use. Remember to max upgrade everything though. The up arrow on the node means it can be upgraded for less jutsu costs. If sustain is a problem, you can always equip some shurikens in place of feathers, but I never really had much of a problem. It's up to you. Push comes to shove, shinobi boxes are cheap as hell and can be bought with glory for super cheap, so you really have no excuse for running low on kunai during a stage. Omnio, you want weakness talisman, 3 of them things, protection talisman and luck bringer for farming, and that's about it. Awakening mystic art for faster casting or amplification for longer duration, up to you. Weapon skills, up to you. This isn't a weapon build, so I won't cover it. Just ensure you get backstab damage, thrust damage, and a parry of your choice. I like Haze on sword and Twirl on spear. Spear makes farming the dojo missions a joke, which is useful because Kato and Iga are mainly gotten from dojo missions. And that's the build! The only hard thing is to get the kunai damage percent inheritables, but again, you can farm Revenants with those on in the Weasel stage in the second region near the water of the first shrine. I wouldn't bother farming Kato or Iga smithing techs, honestly. Just try to get a divine piece with no inheritables when fighting them and you're good to go. But hope you guys enjoy my Ninja King build. It definitely brings back old Nioh 1 vibes. I haven't really seen people melt like this build melts yet, but then again, it basically combines two of the most OP things in the game, Kunai and Otakamaru. But what do you guys think of the build? Before ending, I want to give a shout out to Chris on Twitter, who drew my character Meme as I used her in my pantsless walkthrough of Nioh 2. The art came out great and is the first fan art someone's actually done for one of my characters, so I really appreciate it. I took a break from streaming, but will probably do a couple streams on YouTube and Twitch, finishing up New Game Plus with this build in the next few days, and then I'll start working on the next build, which will probably be Melee, or would you want me to maximize Otakamaru before an inevitable nerf? Let me know in the comments, smash that like button, join the channel like these other lovely members who get special badges aside their usernames in the comments, appreciate the support, and subscribe for more Nioh 2 epicness.